The WWE made the right choice by naming Gunther as Cena's last opponent. I know a lot of people are mad. They want somebody else to get the opportunity, and you're not happy about it. But here's why I think it's the right choice. Sure, I wanted Carmelo Hayes originally as the guy, but I feel like if you look at John Cena, beating John Cena is such a big thing. It's such a big deal. It should only go to guys who are on that level. Look at this past year. Who's beat John Cena? Nobody outside of Cody Rhodes. I think Cody Rhodes was the first guy who actually beat him, right? In a regular match. A tag team match was like help from R-Truth. But Cody Rhodes beat him at SummerSlam. After that was Brock Lesnar squashing him at WrestlePalooza. And then he loses to Dominic Mysterio thanks to interference from the outside, right? There's not been many people who've beaten him.
Yes.
And it's always been like some crazy ways to win. And if you think about the last match for John Cena, how is he supposed to lose? He's supposed to lose clean on his back. Who else in the WWE can really do that? Not many people. Carmelo Hayes is not. They haven't built him up. They failed him. If they prepared it better, it would have made sense. Jey Uso, nobody wants to see that.
Yeah.
Who else is a really good option out there? Like, I don't think there's anybody. Maybe Obafemi if you want to make him a monster heel, monster face, whatever you want. If you want him, sure, that makes sense. But Gunther has built up this credit. He's built up the credibility to be that guy to beat Cena.
Yeah.
Because he's done everything that you need him to do. He's won the world titles. He's the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion of all time. You know, he's beaten so many big names too. He's had this great match with CM Punk. He's done a lot of things, and you already know where WWE's trying to take him moving forward. You know he's going to be the ultimate bad guy. Right now, if you look at the WWE's main event scene, you look at like on the men's side of things, it's Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, CM Punk are the four guys, right? And then below the main event scene are the guys that are coming up and moving into that main event scene next, are like guys like Gunther, Braun Breaker, and like I don't know who else you want to put there. Maybe LA Knight, Drew McIntyre is also in that group. These are guys who are just main eventers, but they're not the guy that will be headlining WrestleMania.
Yes.
And I think their goal is to make Gunther into that guy who headlines WrestleMania, who could be night 2 main event. And I think beating John Cena kind of gets him to that, elevates him to that level. And it's also going to be something, in my opinion, over the next year, I think we're going to have Gunther wrestling all the other guys. He's going to be the guy that beats CM Punk. He's going to be the guy that beats Cody Rhodes. He's going to be the guy who beats Roman Reigns, beats Seth Rollins. And you build him up into this monster heel for somebody else to take down. Now somebody else could be Braun Breaker. And somebody else could be eventually be Carmelo Hayes. It could be eventually be anybody else. Any up and coming young talent on the WWE. So I think what they're doing is that's the right choice right there because of this. Because now the future, you have the guy who's the man.
Yeah.
It reminds me a little bit how Brock Lesnar beat Undertaker. I know that was probably the wrong choice at the time too. I still don't know who else you would have chosen to beat him, but besides maybe CM Punk if he beat him the year before, that would have been fun.
Or
but
Roman Reigns probably.
Roman Reigns at that point could have been fun too. But Brock Lesnar had that credibility already built, and he was used for the next generation of guys to be put over. Like they flopped with Roman Reigns, first of all. That was the biggest issue they had because nobody's really buying Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
But later in the decade, when in 2019, Seth Rollins beat him, he was kind of crowned as like a main eventer. That kind of pushed to the next level. Drew McIntyre, same thing. That was supposed to be Drew McIntyre's crowning moment. And COVID messed it up for him.
Yes, it
right?
did.
And then Roman Reigns, eventually, when he's finally crowned the greatest of all time, that was like the thing going when he won both belts. Brock Lesnar's the guy who kind of got him to that point. And then even Cody Rhodes had to beat him like 2 times just to get to the point where, he's built up to beat Roman Reigns. So I think that's what Gunther's going to be now. And he makes more sense too out of all guys just to be that guy now.
I see where you're coming from. It's a great point what you made, all the stuff. But I kind of feel like John Cena this entire time this tour has been talking about the next generation. So I thought, Carmelo Hayes, you're right. If they built up Carmelo Hayes' story where, the Miz maybe like coached him how to beat John Cena, that would have been a great storyline, right? Because he's the guy that he keeps saying, I beat John Cena at WrestleMania. And he could have been the guy that coached him to beat John Cena in his last match and could have been that guy, right? But I think, you made a video about this guy earlier, but Obafemi was the right choice in my opinion because he's the next guy. And he already has a gimmick called the Ruler. Who do you, and what better way to start the Rulers to beat the last, I guess the last few kings. You beat him, you beat Roman Reigns, you beat Cody Rhodes. You're the next ruler of the kingdom, right?
That's a good point.
And I feel like he could do that. He could beat Gunther. That'd be a great match. But I kind of feel like he's also kind of in that middle-ish where he could be a heel.
True.
And he could be like kind of the villain. And where someone like Carmelo Hayes or someone like Trick Williams is trying to overcome that what's called heel, like the big heel, And I kind of feel like he was the guy I would have gave it to because I feel like I don't want to see him in NXT again. Like it's kind of getting boring him winning the NXT title he wanted, but it's kind of getting boring seeing that. Like I think it was the right time to push him into the main event scene. Well, not main event scene, but push him into the main roster, give him a chance to get John Cena, and like you said, make a big impact at the Royal Rumble, and then keep giving him all these A-level opponents and building him up. And the other guy I would have maybe like to see was Braun Breaker. Because Braun Breaker, they're telling Braun Breaker to be the next thing.
Yeah.
What would be better than to just send John Cena off and just keep building him up, make him maybe win the Royal Rumble next year, win the 2026 Royal Rumble, and now you just skyrocketed.
I think the only reason Braun Breaker wasn't put in that spot because you already have him like a ticket to that spot.
Okay,
beating CM Punk would be the way to get him there.
Yeah, that's true.
I think he has to either win January 5th or wherever the first ever Monday Night Raw of the 2026 will be. 2026 will be. He has to win that match. Or he wins at WrestleMania, whatever. I think that's his crowning achievement to get to that main event spot. Where Gunther, I think this is his spot right here. Pushes him to the main event scene fully. Like he's already there, but he's kind of getting crowned at that level by beating John Cena. I think this makes sense mostly out of everybody else. Carmelo Hayes, sure, that would have been a fun storyline. I just think they could have done that at any other point.
Yeah, they could have.
They could have done it like he could beat him at SummerSlam or any other point. But
that's true. Last
match, I think the guy who puts him to sleep is the guy who's been putting a lot of guys to sleep. The other question everybody has is, who is this masked man? They showed this masked man at Survivor Series. Guy shows up, pulls up, curb stomps CM Punk. Probably some guy Paul Heyman brought up. They kept asking questions about who he was. Nobody was answering anything. There's a lot of theories out there, and there's one guy who's a real theory. It's Austin Theory. He's the guy that everybody thinks is the man. I think that makes a lot of sense because he's been gone for so long, and he was a guy that WWE kind of held, at least before Triple H took over, was a guy that was supposed to be a main eventer moving forward.
Yes.
And he kind of got lost in the shuffle under Triple H, and I think now would be the perfect time to bring him back in with this group that's supposed to be the future. And I've also heard a lot of people say that Austin Theory, Paul Heyman wants somebody to come in and take the pins for Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, and Austin Theory would easily do that because Austin Theory is like, people love Austin Theory regardless of like
him losing or winning.
And I think that makes the most sense. But another guy that I've been seeing a lot of talks about is Ricky Saints, because Ricky Saints just lost the NXT title to Obafemi.
Yes,
he's looked like a guy from the start as somebody should be on the main roster. Like NXT was just a little stint, and now he could go to the main roster and do his thing. He makes a lot of sense to be that guy.
Yeah,
because then you can just put him in the mid-card matches and give him a mid-card title, or you can put him on a tag team with Bronson Reed. They go in tag team titles. There's so much you could do with him, and he's already ready for that scene because he's always been like that. And he's another guy to me who could be a main eventer in the future for WWE. Like he's already got that charisma. He's already got this great in-ring performance. He's got everything going for him. He makes so much sense just to bring up right now because he's already prepared and ready to go.
I think someone on the same level as him is Ethan Page, because I feel like he's already got the charisma.
Yeah.
He's got the mic skills.
Yeah.
He's got the good wrestling ability. And I kind of feel like him and Ricky Saints are the same. I think the NXT's wasting on them. I think they're ready for the main roster. I think both of them been ready for the main roster.
Facts.
I kind of feel like they just got to push them up now. And I think either one of those two could be perfect for that group, because Ethan Page also, he could eat pens. He's like in the beginning, he could have him
Pay his dues too.
Pay his dues, basically, yeah. And just have him in the mid-card matches. And he's already kind of been like, he looks good. He looks good like when he comes on SmackDown with Chelsea Green. I think he's also another perfect person for this.
I think with him, like they do have another way of getting him in with Chelsea Green already. They have a great charisma too. Actually, great chemistry. Like they clicked right off the bat. They're two Canadians. Shout out to Canada.
Yeah.
They're two Canadians who just worked well together, and they could easily kill it if they don't even want to just throw them onto SmackDown and like give him the U.S. title, make them co-champs, 2 U.S. champions, and then they also have the mixed tag team titles.
Yes,
from AAA. That could also work for him too.
Yeah, you're right. That's true.
But they have so many options here. Like I think it's gonna be hard for them to mess it up. I think that if they can't take somebody who's like, the fans are asking, there's a few guys that people would want. And I feel like if they miss the mark here, it's just it's bad booking again. I think we're not going to find out who this is until like 2026. Probably that match against CM Punk.
Probably.
I hope, at least. And I'm hoping they don't mess it up here. Speaking of the U.S. title and maybe Ethan Page Page going after it. That picture it's gotten better and better as the year's gone on.
Yes, it has.
Right before it was LA Knight and Jacob Fatu, that was fun. They were like great champs. But Sami Zayn goes in, does open challenge, and he nails it.
Yeah.
Ilya Dragunov wins, and he carries it on. It's been great too, because now you get all these other guys who are lost in the shuffle. Like the tag team division has been put on hold, so all these tag team wrestlers are being brought in, right?
Yeah.
Because now you have the Wyatt Six and the what are they called? MFT. The investment bankers over there. They got the two sides going at it for the tag team titles and actual storyline. So that's putting the tag team titles on hold. So then all these other tag teams. That are just not doing anything. They're appearing in the U.S. Championship picture. And I like what they're doing with DIY.
Yeah.
Because I think those two, Gargano and Ciampa, have great, they were a great rivalry in NXT. They were probably one of the best rivalries in NXT. Probably one of the best storylines in the history of NXT. So I think that if they could somehow revisit that, I feel like there's going to be a breakup down the line because Ciampa wants his title so bad. He's willing to do whatever it takes. And we've seen what he does before. He's taken out Gargano in the past.
I was gonna say, you know, what would be a great thing is to have a fatal 4-way between Ilya, Mello, what's called Gargano and what's the name, Ciampa, and then have somehow Gargano come out as the champion in that one, like steal the belt underneath of Gargano. I mean, sorry, Ciampa, and then he gets mad at him, and that can start a beef until WrestleMania. There you go.
That would be fun.
Yeah,
I think there's so much potential in the division now. Like they got to continue to just hammer away with the US title.
The only good thing about SmackDown.
Yeah, SmackDown just has a lot of misses. The heavyweight picture is so confusing all the time. You're like, what is Cody Rhodes doing Raw?
You know what? Then he's like, yo, you know what? I'm gonna beat the shit out of Drew McIntyre, but then I'm going to challenge Obafemi over here for the next Saturday Night Main Event. What the hell is going on?
That makes sense. So that's John Cena's plan. You know, you got to showcase the young talent, and Obafemi's probably one of the biggest names, right? That's another way. Speaking of our earlier point, Obafemi getting some spotlight at least on the show, which he deserves because he got so much, you know. I want to see him succeed.
Yes.
He has such a good look. He's everything you need as a world champ. Like that's a guy I feel like could be on SmackDown in the next year too.
You're right.
But the US title, just keep hammering it. If you're Triple H or Road Dogg, I guess.
Road Dogg, you're doing a great job with
You're doing one good thing. And that's the US title picture, buddy. Keep it up. Well, that does it for this video. Like, subscribe, leave a comment. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.